Can't even buy a car, my brother quipped. The chopper dropped onto the lawn. That's my ride, I said. Mom collapsed. Ever felt like your own family just refused to see you? Like they had this perfect little box they crammed you into, and nothing you did could ever change their minds? Well, my family had their version of me, the struggling middle child, barely scraping by. But they had no idea I was about to land a helicopter on their front lawn and blow that whole narrative to smithereens. My name is Allison, I'm 32, and for months I'd been absolutely dreading this family meeting. You see, my siblings always had this knack for making me feel utterly small, with their subtle jabs about my modest lifestyle. What they didn't know, couldn't begin to imagine, was that the company I'd built from the ground up had just sold for millions. I drove a 10-year-old car, lived simply, because possessions never defined my worth. But their judgment of me? That was about to change dramatically today. And yeah, that helicopter? That was just the beginning of their education. Growing up, being the middle child between my older brother James and younger sister Stephanie, was never easy. James, who's now 40, was everything my parents worshipped. He'd followed the textbook path, Ivy League, prestigious corporate executive at a Fortune 500. His corner office in Manhattan and vacation home in the Hamptons were practically religious texts at family gatherings. Stephanie, 28, found her own route to success by marrying Andrew, heir to a regional banking fortune. Her picture-perfect wedding was splashed across local magazines, and her life of charity galas and country club memberships fulfilled all my parents' dreams for their youngest. Then there was me, Allison, the middle child who just didn't quite fit the mold. Where James was calculated and traditional, and Stephanie was socially savvy and conventional, I was always questioning, always seeking something different. My parents tried their best to provide equally for all of us, but it became glaringly clear early on that my siblings and I had fundamentally different values. In high school, while James was student body president and Stephanie was homecoming queen, I was tucked away in my room, starting my first small business selling custom websites to local shops. My parents saw it as a cute little hobby, something I'd eventually outgrow for a sensible career or marriage. So when I announced I wanted to skip college to pursue entrepreneurship, the family reaction ranged from sheer disappointment to outright intervention attempts. You will regret this decision for the rest of your life, my father had said, his voice flat, refusing to make eye contact during that tense dinner 10 years ago. It felt like a punch to the gut. 10 years ago, I packed my bags and left our hometown of Cedar Springs with just $200 in my pocket and a fierce, burning determination to prove my path was valid. My family predicted I'd be back within 6 months, humbled and ready to accept their version of success. When I didn't return, they simply created their own narrative. I was struggling, but too proud to admit it. My business ventures had failed. I was barely scraping by in some tiny apartment in the full story video added in below.